Hey guys, welcome back to Dan and Josh. It's awesome, epic Tuesday, Super Tuesday edition. This is my favorite part of everything we do. I love Dane, but every now and then he gets called up to games and analysts and stuff like that. As you guys know, we do sports and music, and my passion is one A is music and one B is sports. Love them both, but probably just a tad bit more. I'd say I love the music side and all that. And as you guys know, we're really, really big fans of drummers. We've been blessed to interview a lot of drummers from Yogi of Demon Hunter, Yogi of Disciple. Of course, we got our buddy coming on tonight from Alien Ant Farm. We got Mike. Drummers just seem to really speak to us. We love it. Darren from Hollywood Undead, and so on and so forth. But there's a drummer from a band that I'm telling you guys when I say this band is doing big things. Their music is so positive, but it's also so real. There's a band I've been listening to for quite some time called Fire from the Gods. And there's this fusion of reggae and rock, and it's got this element of hip hop and soul. Amazing drummer, amazing guitarist, amazing bass player, and a singer. It's awesome when you get four super talented people together to make this juggernaut sound. So I'm excited and I'm honored to bring on Richie from the band. Richie from Fire from the Gods, brother. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm awesome, man. I'm excited to have you on. I've been following you forever. You're a monster behind the kit. Only one better
I
than you is
appreciate
Gonzo from the Muppets, bro.
it.
Just kidding.
No, I get it a lot actually. Like, yeah, some people say like, "Oh, you're always so happy while you're drumming and always smiling," because
I love it.
honestly, yeah, just always
Doing what you
stoked to
love,
be
man.
up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
why
I love
shouldn't I be?
yeah. I see you're always busy, man. I see you in the studio. So the fans and I, man, we've got some questions over the years that we've cultivated to kind of pick your brain. And so I'm going to go ahead and kick it off, man. I'm going to get into it. Obviously, before the juggernaut of working with Fire from the Gods, new album just dropped. I've listened to it like 30 times through. Love it. Sick album. Even before that, when you guys dropped
Awesome.
Victory and some of the EPs and all that, before you became part of this band, I'm sure there's got to be some stories, man, like when you began playing. So my question is, what age were you when you began actually beating around the drums?
Oh man. So I actually started playing guitar first. So that was when I was about 6. I really got like into lessons, all that stuff, and then I think by around like I don't know, it must have been like 9 or 10 years old. I discovered punk rock and just all of that came with it. And that was all like through like skateboarding and like my dad was a skateboarder and so yeah, he like I was just introduced to always like Led Zeppelin and those bands and then also like the Ramones and Sex Pistols, all the standard kind of
Yeah,
punk bands and then I started digging deeper and um Rage Against the Machine stole my heart pretty quickly and like yeah, as a guitar player, I feel like that band was just so locked in with all
yeah,
the instruments and it just inspired me to be like, man, I like want to learn all of the parts to I want to be able to play all of this and
the whole band.
um yeah, so I kind of ditched the lessons on guitar and started diving into drums at around like 13, I'd say, but all self-taught because I
That's
was
awesome,
just
man.
over the lessons. So
No, I get you, man. And sometimes, some of the greats, if you think about Neil and all that, everybody's got that element of they teach themselves and stuff. I remember it's funny, man, because I'll never forget my first set. My dad laughs about this because, I thought it'd be cool, kind of what you said, to have my own home studio at a young age. So he's like, I'm sick of it. I can't handle it. My first baby, my real set, he got me a Roland V session. It was, it's the pads and all that, but it's all digital. It was probably
that's
about 20
epic.
years ago. So when you get your first baby, like you remember, I'm curious, man, what was your first baby, your first real set? What kind was it?
Man, the first one was a Mark V. I don't
Okay.
even know like what brand that is, but it it did the trick,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
with heads, I guess like I learned how to just somehow make it work. And in the beginning, you don't know what is right or wrong.
Right.
Like probably cranked that kick head a few times the wrong way, until I figured it out. And then I started diving into the sound of it and really got into recording it. And that's kind of where I started learning how to, um, you know, manipulate the
Yeah.
tuning to make it sound great without having to know what to do in the computer with anything at all either. So,
For
because at
sure.
that time that was all new, but it kind of came with drumming was the recording because that was the the goal for me was like, if I can get drums, then I can just record myself on everything and like start recording and learning how to do that, with
Yeah.
minimal resources.
Yeah, it's self-made, man. I love it. So that's why I'm curious too, because I remember my first band. My buddies and I, we've went through several, high school friends and all that. Our first band was Broken Down. I'll never forget it, and it's bad. Thank God there's no recordings of us because it was terrible. We were live, but
um
there's got to be those bands, man. Of when early days before all this. What was your first band, man? Do you remember who it was? Or
yep. So the first band that was like serious was called Anavrin at
okay,
first. And it was just Nirvana backwards. So we were
okay,
covering Nirvana songs, and and they're like easy enough. We're like obviously terrible, just like everyone. Like,
right.
we were not those like Instagram 9-year olds shredding. We were like, this is gonna take a long time to like nail. And so yeah, we just did that for a while, and then it turned into I think it turned into Infernal Complex, and we went
Okay,
like full hardcore punk, and it just got like wild all of a sudden, and then that band
I love it.
dissipated. Yeah.
All three chords on all the songs, bro. The typical, the
Yeah,
rage stuff. I love
exactly.
it, man. Love
Yeah.
it. Infernal Complex, huh? I'd love to see some demos of that one day. Maybe on like a B side
Oh
for you,
my
bro, or something.
gosh.
And that's awesome.
I'd have to
Well,
go dig somewhere.
that'd be awesome, dude. That's something like those vault memories. We found actually a recording. My buddy sent it to me. It's like you look back at your early days, before it became your craft, and you're like, why did I make this? But it's part of who you are. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
love it.
I mean, at
I
the
love it.
time you're stoked because
Yeah, it's three chords,
yeah.
man. I love it. It don't have to be in tune. It's so funny. So, that's awesome, man. So when you think about gigs, obviously you've done quite a few with Fire from the Gods, and you guys have done some great festivals. And like I've been watching your progression of how you just continue to elevate, and then now you're one of those marquee names. And in the genre, even though I hate to do genres, but there's always that thing. I think about guys in your genre, like POD and Skindred and things like that. To an extent, you guys have been doing a lot so far in your career. Maybe it's not even with them. Is there a gig that sticks out to you as being like that's the benchmark gig for you so far that you've played?
Yeah, I would say it's Rock am Ring in Germany,
Okay.
and that one just like especially was special to me because I grew up not too far from there, and close to Frankfurt in Wiesbaden, Germany, and I used to go to that festival, so it was like pretty, sick, great feeling to like be back in your home
Wow.
country and just like, hey, I used to go to this, and now I get to rock a stage here and have fun with my friends. Like,
That's awesome, man.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know you were from there. That's really cool, man. That's awesome. So, playing a legendary stadium that you grew up playing, watching bands, and it's gotta be pretty cool. So, wow,
yeah,
that's
it's like
awesome, man.
the Nürburgring. It's
Yeah,
that racetrack. So basically, all the stages are on the racetrack.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a cool vibe, man. Like that.
that's
Yeah, that
cool.
was
I
hands
think we
down
had
the
a
best one for me.
I think we had a buddy from, I think it was Disciple. I may be wrong, but somebody told me they played there too. And that's really cool to hear that name brought up a few times. When you think about influences, man, so again, I said this to you kind of off there, and I stand behind this. There's those bands that influence us. I think about the people that have left a mark on my life. Early on, of course, Alice in Chains for me, big, and then POD came along. And now lately it's been sevenfold. And I discovered you guys. I've shared Victory probably 40 billion times. I feel like I've shared that song and told everybody, I'm like, hey, listen to this track. there's such
Man,
a there's such a way that you guys all of you, I mean, you're beating it behind the kit, but this song is so powerful. Of course, you got American Sun, which is great. I mean, don't even be started on Right Now. Like everything you guys do is so positive, and there's an influence of, hey, we can talk about real life, we can talk about sometimes we go through struggles, and I can leave you feeling positive at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
for
So
sure.
the influence you're leaving on us, and my kids love you. That's what's really cool, dude. I think about the music. If I love it and my kid, you guys are doing something right, and that's where we are. So with that being said, man, I'm curious, Richie, what's a couple bands that have influenced you over the years in your life?
Man, first off, that's what's up, dude, and that's what Fire from the Gods is all about. Yeah, it's a positive message, and that there's something behind it. But yeah, my inspirations and like I guess like what really stuck it were was just like so, in my face constantly, and I needed it all the time was Nirvana, Rage Against the Machine, um, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
I love that band so much. Yeah, and then I do also, I love like Motown pretty much like most of the catalog that exists
Yeah,
is just yeah,
that's awesome.
it's just fun. Al Green was a big
Okay.
inspiration. That's what got me wanting, like, that's what I begged my mom for a guitar because of her jamming Al Green. And I was like, I need that. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's so cool,
that's
man.
what got it all going, I guess.
So eclectic, and that's what's cool about you, man. Is I think about when you listen. I explain people because I was talking to my brother today. I was like, "Hey, dude, I got one of my heroes on. Like, real, I mean that. Like, I've got a chance to interview some great people." And he's like, "Let me listen to him again." He's like, "It's like this. You got this backbeat, you got this hip hop, reggae, soul, rock. Like, it's everything. You guys like take a paintbrush and just splatter it on all genres, and that's what you are, you know." And you could really get down. Like, I think you could play any festival. You could walk in and you could cover for like stick figure. You could drop reggae. You can come and play some hip hop. You can play rock with the best of them, and then you can do some soul. Like that's what's up when you can do everything, and your guys' music fits all of it. Somebody, everybody's gonna love it, you know. So it's crazy.
Man, respect, dude.
It's
That's what's up, man.
all
Yeah, I
facts,
mean,
man.
we just have fun with it, honestly. Like, I don't think there's ever like really. Sometimes there's some intention of like, okay, this one we're gonna go heavy, but like, you know, every once in a while we just drop it into the
Love it.
reggae bits or whatever, and it's just fun. Like, I think we all like love bands like Matis Yahoo and
Yeah,
311. Those are big ones. Like, as at least for me, and I know, all of us love the classic, all the classic reggae stuff, and
hmm
we love Bob, and oh
yeah,
man,
of
there's
course.
so many good ones like
Can't even get started, man. Yeah,
the
I get you, man.
Boujous and Kingston. I mean Capleton and um, yeah, it's just
It's a
vibes,
thing, man.
man,
It's a vibe. Yeah, yeah. When
vibes,
my daughter,
and
I gotta
it
say this one
works
more
in
thing.
rock.
Yeah, it does, man. Like
Yeah,
there's been an element of like soul and reggae and rock for a long time. I think, but you guys are just it's a new what I think what you're doing because you kind of preluded for a second to skating as well. You guys are it's a revival of the best era of music. In my opinion, 90s and early 2000s was the best like birth of music for me personally. Just like everybody was hitting hard, like everybody was good. So you guys have this
so
revival of
good.
that sound, even though you're modern, right? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I gotta stop, bro, before I fanboy. So next question, man, with the with the album dropping, love it. Very personal. I could tell you guys have taken the writing element a little bit deeper, and every song it's almost more like a everything's an anthem on the new album. I'm curious, what's the next year looking like? Maybe it's for you, maybe doing side stuff. If you're tracking the band, what's your next year as an artist looking like for you on your schedule? You know,
Man, I mean, we're gonna be on Shiprocked for the first time, so
cool.
that's gonna be fun. I think it'll be fun. I know I'll be seasick, but I think it'll be fun. So,
Okay.
yeah, with the right meds and all that, yeah, I'll work it out. But um, yeah. Other than that, there will be some tours, and but for now, this year we're just focusing on. We've been writing some new tunes, and that's been really fun. Like, yeah, it's I would say it's gonna be, a little different this time around.
Okay.
But yeah,
So,
I mean,
so you think we might hear some covers of some Infernal Complex stuff on it? I'm just kidding.
oh my
I'm kidding.
God.
I'm just kidding, man. I love
No.
it. So I know, dude. It's funny on that subject. A lot of bands, because we do this with our editor and my music. A lot of people will do, an EP at a time. I know you guys dropped the album. Would it be, and if you can't tell me, it's cool. Would it be like a deluxe version of the album, or would it be like maybe its own separate EP that you're thinking for the stuff coming up that you're doing?
Well, we're just like writing right now as a
Okay,
a band, and just exploring really sounds and riffs, and doing that
got
kind
you.
of, yeah, just kind of like starting to dial it in for the next wave, you know, because you
I
always
got you.
got to stay on top of it. Most of the
Yeah,
records, it's like you start writing them, and then 2, 3 years later, some of those songs are finally released, you know? So
I
it's
got you.
usually how it goes. Like you kind of, we just keep writing all the time, no matter what. And yeah, we're about to play Aftershock. And
That's
um,
cool.
yeah, just other than that, I'm recording, producing, mixing, always have some mixes going on.
Always got something going on, man. I love it. And it's same busy, man. Always moving, man. I know I love the studio vibe. I remember I was watching an interview one time with Chester RP and they talked about when they would record, they would have this vibe where they'd like fill the room with balloons or things like that. When you guys write, everybody's different. Every band I've talked to is different. When you guys write, which I love it that you do it together, is it more together? You sit down, try to go through a hook and a verse, or is it like, hey, I got a line. You guys piece it together, or is it more like, all right, we're gonna come together and try to write the whole thing out? How do you guys do it? You know?
Man, it's kind of always different. I wouldn't say
Okay.
there's ever like the same way or
Okay.
approach, but a lot of the times we do start with the music, um, and kind
Nice.
of like, yeah, it's just like inspiring. I think music helps inspire AJ to find the right lyrics and like, you know, go through his book and start, you know, making sense of his words and stuff. And like, yeah, it's that's why it kind of always changes, because sometimes he also does have like song starter ideas and stuff, but for the most part I would say it's music. And then as we're doing vocals, it's like you start kind of arranging, like, this part doesn't even make sense to the song anymore, like riff salad, ditch it, you know, like those kind of things where it's like you just start focusing on the song, because music is just music, you know. And like once you have the 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 point of the song and
Yeah.
the lyrics and the right melodies and rhythms, you know, then that's when it all starts coming
All comes
together.
together,
And
right? I got
yeah,
you. I love it,
so
man. Love it.
those moments, yeah, I mean, we're usually right here, this is the spot. And
It's so cool. The vibe, dude. I
yeah.
love it. I love the look. I feel like in the most respectful way, it's got this cool, calm vibe. Like my favorite store is Third Planet. It's like I'm walking in a Third Planet when I see your studio. It's so cool. The vibe. I love it, man.
Oh
So it's
man, I
cool.
appreciate it.
It's
Yeah, I
cool.
always have the vibes going. And
Yeah.
I
It's
I
a
I
thing,
love
dude.
that, like the energy studio vibe with the tapestries everywhere. And like, yeah,
Gets it
just
done, man. Love it.
yep.
So there's a segment. I'm gonna crack you up, man. So Dane and I usually bet on this. If he's not calling games and we're both here, there's a segment that we do that's called Rapid Fire. Now I'm gonna crack you up, man. Our fans are awesome. Now we always keep it PG, but we're about to get weird. I love this. This is the weird segment. It's really cool. Now what we do is Dane sent me his pick, so I have his answers. We do this, but what we do, we've got 5 questions we're gonna throw at you, and you have to pick an answer. We bet on what we think you're gonna say. So like you're gonna be on
Oh damn.
DraftKings later. It's really cool. It's a cool little segment. But what it is, there's no wrong answer. We think we know what you're going to say based off of maybe kind of studying you and all that. So these 5 questions, imagine time doesn't exist, reality's gone, so anything can happen in this rapid segment. Okay, so so here we go. First question. You're called up. You're going to take over singing duties for the night. AJ is like, hey, man, I'm sick. You're going to take over and you're going to have somebody fill in and you're leading the band for the night. What they ask you to do, there's an upcoming promotional commercial coming out. And you guys have to redo and make this kind of like put your spin on it, your style of the band, and redoing one's iconic theme songs. You guys got to redo the Super Mario Brothers. You got to make that reggae style and rock it and make lyrics for it, or you got to redo the iconic Power Rangers theme song and make it your style. Mario Brothers, Power Rangers, which one are you going with?
Mario Brothers.
Got it. I knew it. I knew it. I could just hear drop it.
I,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I already heard it.
I got you, bro. Now, if you want to drop it on the EP, that's cool, bro. No, I won't even take any credit for it. It's all good. Just kidding, man. So I love it, man.
That's great, man.
Love it. Next one,
no,
man.
I think although I was a Power Rangers fan as a kid, I just like, yeah, I don't even remember that theme song. So
I got you. It's Go Power Rangers. It's iconic. Don't look it up because it'll be
that's
stuck
right.
in your head.
Go
It'll be
Power.
stuck in your head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. It's
Got
so
you, man.
weird because like with certain shows like that, because I grew up in Germany, the theme songs sometimes would change.
Okay.
And yeah, so like that's happened to me before where I'm just like, yeah, I don't know the American theme song to that.
Got you, man. I got you. Next one. So you guys are on tour. So check this out. You're headlining. We'll say Grass Pop. We'll say a big festival. Maybe Hellfest. Something of the bigger Download Fest. We'll say Download Fest. And you guys are asked to go out there, but what they don't tell you, your manager says, hey, when you go on stage, you guys have to wear costumes for the show. You have to wear costumes for this crazy headline. You get two choices to pick from for your costume. You can go with old school Ninja Turtle. I'm talking the whole thing. You got to play in a Donatello Ninja Turtle outfit, or you got to rock an old school The Tick, like the blue guy, The Tick. You got to be a Ninja Turtle or The Tick and play the whole show. Which one you go with?
Ninja Turtle.
Yes, let's go. Killing it, man. 2 for 2. Dane had The Tick, so I got you.
Oh, dang.
Let's go. I love it, man. I love it. I freaking love it. So next question, man. You're doing good. This is awesome. So you're actually called up. All right, you guys have a couple months off the road. They're doing a remake of 2 of these iconic old school 80s movies. They want you to be the lead actor in this movie. They call you up and say, hey, I want you to take over and be part of the reboot. So A, you can be the lead character for the remake of Dirty Dancing, iconic movie. Got you. Or you can be the next Ferris Bueller. You can be Dirty Dancing or Ferris Bueller remake. Which one are you going with?
Oh, man.
Tough one.
Definitely Ferris Bueller. Yeah.
Let's go. Kill it.
I don't
dude.
think.
3
3. Nice. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, Dirty Dancing, that sounds like a lot of stuff to do. Like, Ferris Bueller sounds fun.
Yeah, just chilling, right? Just chilling, you know. But like, you know, can you just imagine that, bro? Like, that'd be awesome. Again, another remake if you'd like. Go ahead and drop the remake of that song if you want to. Won't take any credit. Just kidding. 2 more, man. 2 more rapid fire. So I know AJ's a big soccer fan. I know kind of all you guys to an extent are. So this next question might pull from all of your influences. You're also called up by 2 of these iconic video game franchises, and they want you to be a playable character. This is a big thing now with musicians and actors, celebrities, and all that. So they want you to be in the game. You pick it. You can either be a playable character in Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3 coming out, or you can be in FIFA 25. Call of Duty, FIFA. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. On it.
Quick.
Let's go. Yeah, Dane
put me on mines, and I'm all good. It's not the best team, but mine's
it's your team, right?
Let's go.
Let's go, man. I love it. So last one, so I'm crushing Dane. There's no way he can catch up because he's 2 out of 2, and I'm already 4 for 4. Last one.
Damn.
You guys are, I know, you guys are called up. So here's the thing: you're called up to do a show. We're gonna say it's like a I don't know, Tower Records release kind of thing. Going old school for a second. You show up and you realize somehow in the world there's no drumsticks. All drumsticks have evaporated from the planet. You don't have any drumsticks. So what you've got to use to play this show, and you got to like make it cool. Like you got to go out there and get it done. Everybody else got their stuff. AJ's got his mics. They got their guitars, but you don't have any drumsticks. So you can choose for the show. Option A is old school marshmallow skewers that you do cookouts with, marshmallow skewers that you put the little things on. Or you can go with Slim Jim jerkies. Marshmallow skewers, Slim Jim beef jerkies. Which one are you going to play your show with for the night?
Can I use duct tape?
No.
Oh,
you gotta do this as is.
Oh, man. I'll just go. I mean, might as well just go with the Slim Jim because it's more fun.
Let's go. Love it,
They're
dude.
both not going to sound good, so I'll go with the fun version.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, I appreciate you, dude. That's just a little segment that we do just to make you laugh. Hopefully, interviews you've had, you having a segment like that. So hopefully it was original for you. Love it. So
make a slap with the Slim Jim, bro. I like it.
But the savage kind, you know what I'm saying? At least it's the savage kind, so at least you got a little something to it, you know?
That would work for sure. Yeah.
You know, maybe rock a little bit quieter and all that, but get it done. If it was an electric set, who knows, you know?
Yes, there you go.
Love it. Love it, man. Well, the last segment, Richie, again, I appreciate you. I know you're always busy, but the last segment, and the reason we do this, honestly, for those musicians that listen, those athletes that listen, and people that just want to inspire to do something, kind of chase their dreams, there's a segment that we call Open Mic. And we like to pick the brains of people like yourself that have been successful to also realize you are successful, but you're a person just like us. How did you get maybe the courage or maybe a mantra to chase your dreams what's a piece of wisdom you could share with those that want to be you one day, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Honestly, just put the time in, and I feel like it's hard to know like sometimes what to do in life, but if you feel like you know what you should be doing, then that's I think you should just go for it.
Yeah,
And for some reason, yeah, it always just felt like the thing I was like I just need to do this, and I think a lot of people start feeling that for certain things and go for it and really just succeed. And I think it's just, if you put your heart into it. And yeah, I don't know, like people always say, oh, no plan A, no plan B. I mean, I guess in a certain way that makes sense, but just,
I love
yeah,
that. Put your
put
heart
in the
into it.
work. Yeah.
I love it, man. Because Richie, I'll tell you, man, we have a we're blessed with the spectrum. We have, I think about, we have musicians, artists, and there's doctors and lawyers. Everyone has a different path they want to take. Our mindset is, what do you want to do with your life? That's cool. Find a way to chase your dreams. And I think about you, and music is such a powerful weapon to help people. It is a gift, right? I'm
Yeah.
so glad you did do with what you felt you needed to do. I think you're supposed to be here. Now we've got this to be able to draw from this great repertoire of music, but just kind of chasing your dreams and following your heart. I like what you said about the backup thing too. If you have a backup plan, you're probably not going to give it your all. I like what you said about that too, so
Yeah.
that's powerful, man.
If yeah, it's pretty true. I think every human does have that, like, well, maybe I should, but just go. Yeah.
Love it. Just
And
go. I love that, dude. I love
I
it.
think the one other thing to take away, like for me with music, is that it's an you're always learning no matter what role you play in music. And I think that's what is a very beautiful thing. And I mean, that does apply to many things in life, but I think just with music, the way it connects and the way you can inspire to do something that's like beyond yourself in a way of, because you're just putting yourself somewhere differently in a different mindset.
Mhm.
And you know how it feels. It
Yeah,
captures you while you're doing it. So it's a great thing. Like I
I love
just
that, man.
advocate for music. It's good vibes. It changes your vibe.
Yeah, it puts you in a different mood. There's times when I'll never forget, like I'll have milestones in my life. Again, when I think about, I told you with Victory, helped me get through some dark stuff. I'll think about those times, like okay, my wife, wedding songs, right? Or I'll think about, there's even songs we'll play like if we go through sad times. Music always leaves a mark. And it says what your emotions can't say with words. Music does that. It speaks it out loud through music, right? And it's like, hey, I don't know how to say this, but this song tells you how I'm feeling. So that, I don't know, man. It's just, it's a
Absolutely. Yeah.
language. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
but man, Richie, I'll tell you, man, it's always a blessing. Doing this was a bucket list for me, so I appreciate you taking time out of your
Man.
busy schedule. Please know it's an open invitation. Anytime you want to come back, maybe when you drop some new stuff, open door. Please make it the first of many, and know we'd love to have you back anytime. Okay, so
Sounds awesome, man. Thank you so much for having me and reaching out. Yeah, it's an honor to be on your show, and I'm looking forward to hanging with you soon, hopefully at a show.
yeah,
But
man.
yeah, I'll let you know about the new tunes, and they're definitely there's gonna be some heavy stuff in there and some fun stuff. But we can't ever get away from the big choruses, the soaring. It's
Yeah.
just so fun.
Yeah, man. You just keep just put it out there. I promise you, we're gonna love it. So as soon as you do, let me know. Throw me a text. Obviously, I'm following you guys. So once it's out, we'll share the heck out of it. Just know, first of many, come back anytime. Let's stay in touch and much love and keep rocking. Okay. So
Yeah. Yes, sir. Respect, man. Have a
yes,
great
sir.
day.
You too. Thanks, brother. You're welcome to drop off if you'd like. So, guys, that's Richie, man. Richie's one of a kind, the most kindest rock star I think I've ever met. There's this presence about him to where everybody's a friend, even if he just met you for the first time. When I got the privilege to interact with him, I feel like I've known him for 20 years. Just a cool guy. He is so kind. And I say it all the time. These impressions that these athletes and these musicians leave on us, they don't have to do this. They're so gracious with their time. And if you've ever, I don't know if any of you out there really like study music and the way it works these days. Musicians have less time than they ever have. It's not like it was in the 80s when they drop an album, go on tour for 4 months, and make an album every 5 years. the way this digital climate works, like he said, they just dropped an album a couple months ago, and they're already to keep things in this digital world that we live in. You're almost looking ahead for the next 6 months or a year. It's like a semi-annual type thing with music these days. Even though they're great and I love it that they do it, the time of that working on an album, if any of you, I never really get this deep with how tracks work. An average musician, when they drop a track, you'll hear a 3 minute song, like, oh, that's cool. It takes an average about a week to a week and a half if you're going to track it out, because one day is vocal day and they'll sing that same lyric 150, 200 times. It's drum day. It's guitar day. It's bass day. So if you've never really like looked at how music works and how like deep it goes, this 3 minute song that you hear for like, okay, cool, in the back of your mind, the amount of time they spend, it's a 9 to 5 type job. And then you got to go out and do merch. You got to meet with your PR guys and you got to do the show. So it's great when you go on stage for 45 minutes nowadays. We're blessed to see them usually for a 45-minute set. There's usually about a 12-hour day leading up to that. Then they pack up their gear and they get on the road and they go to the next show. So I will tell you, I have nothing but respect for musicians. That mental image of what you see, where it's like, all right, cool, I'm going to show up, play for 45 minutes, and then do nothing for the next 23 hours. That is not realistic. Musicians are some of the hardest working people that I ever know. On top of that, lessons, creatively writing, constantly like dealing with things on the road. If a car breaks down or gear blows up, that stuff isn't just like available all time and ready. So again, I could go on for days as far as breaking down music and how it works and tracking and editing and sending a song over and just on and on and on. So just know that life of a musician is a full-time job as well as a part-time job. So again, your favorite artist, if you ever see him or get a chance to shake their hand or send them a DM, show them some love, just know they're some of the hardest workers you're ever going to meet. So no disrespect to anybody else. We all work hard. We all have things we do, but just maybe a different dynamic of what they do. He actually was talking to me from the studio because he had to get on to do some tracking after this. So anyway, Richie, I love you, man. We love the band. All of you guys at Fire from the Gods, heroes in my book. Love what you're doing. Great lyricists, great musicians, and just positive vibes all the way around. So we've got one more tonight. Stay tuned for that. We do have our buddy Mike stopping by from Alien Ant Farm. Got a few tomorrow. We'll recap Thursday night with our friend Chris Lund from Lacey's Term. And then we'll go into next week hitting it hard. So as always, don't forget that we love you. And if Dane was here, he would say, thank you for listening.